What's up, motherfuckers? We're that's so weird. We we are back doing the Half Brain Half Brothers podcast. This is
Yeah.
a little different though. We're only with you for half an hour. You'll be spending half hours with the Half Brain Half Brothers every single week is the plan. How you doing, my brother Al?
Hamas. Not how I'm doing. It's just a word I learned recently. Doing all right. Got myself an extra stout.
Can I have some?
Well, of course.
Pour it on the camera for me, pal. Let me get up to my mic to drink. God, that probably sounded really terrible.
We'll just overdub Riley Reid.
Let's do our best Riley Reid impression. Run 3. 1, 2. Ah! You did
Howdy, y'all.
it. Oh. So, did you watch any good movies lately, my good sir?
You bet I did.
Like what? What'd you watch?
It's called Shredder.
Is it funny because
called-
of the terrible segue, or is it just because of the movie?
It's just funny because we said we were gonna do it and then we did it. Shredder. The movie's called Shredder Man Rules.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about that movie? Like, what's your favorite? What's your favorite part?
Okay, so this guy, his name is Bubba, and he's the protagonist of this film, and he's really getting the business from this kid who calls himself Shredder Man, who's just a real problem, and Bubba's just trying to help his dad and learn about how to be a part of the community because his dad has a big business in the community, and he's an upstanding member of the community and everything. So this guy Bubba is getting bullied by the Shredder Man from Ninja Turtles. And he builds a boat and he puts like a bullhorn on the boat and stuff, and he's just taunting this guy Bubba, and he's like, "Yeah, Bubba's busted. Shredder Man rules." And so yeah, this guy Bubba's just being bullied relentlessly by the Shredder Man, and then the lady from Austin Powers is their principal, and that's the movie.
Mindy Sterling. Is that her name?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. Probably.
I'm trying
Frau.
to. Either Mindy Sterling is the name of her, or that's the lady who plays the violin.
Lower the globe.
Lower the globe, my good sir. Man, speaking of Austin Powers, man, I love those movies to death. They are so good. What's your favorite of the 3?
I think the third one is for
Goldmember?
sentimental reasons. Yeah.
I gotta say 3 too, because that was actually my first Austin Powers movie. I would watch it so much, and I knew I wasn't supposed to. I'd sneak it on late at night when it was airing on. I forget. I can't even remember the station it was airing on. The station, yeah, the channel.
See, because when I was little, I used to watch clips, or when I was younger, I should say, I used to watch clips of all the movies on YouTube, but I couldn't find the full movies. But then I had a chance to borrow Goldmember, and I watched it over and over. I had a portable DVD player, and I brought it camping. And I borrowed it for so long, I eventually was allowed to keep it, which was cool. And as soon as it was officially mine, somebody broke it by accident. But I mean, I have the box set now. But yeah,
Al, you keep borrowing our DVD. Do you want to keep it?
Yes.
It's yours
You mean
now.
I can really? You mean I can? And as soon as I owned it, I watched it that night, even though I just watched it the night before, 40 times. It's different now. Now that I own it, I have to watch it to see what I missed before. I don't know.
The movie,
But yes.
I actually had a moment like that too with a Pokemon 2000. I kept watching it at my aunt's. She let me borrow it, and she's like, "Oh, you know what? You can keep it." I'm like, "Yeah." And then I don't think I ever watched it again.
That was one of the cool things that Beyonce Knowles did in her career. Probably the best thing. That was her breakout role.
That's my favorite thing she's ever done, personally.
It is the best thing she's probably ever done. Yeah, she was kind of funny in it.
I don't even remember her character's name. Do you?
Foxy Cleopatra.
That's it. Foxy Cleopatra. What's the character's name from Drawn Together? Foxy? Is it Foxy Brown?
That sounds
Foxy
about
Brown.
right.
Foxy Brown from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Did you hear
Man,
they're getting a new season?
Drawn Together or Aqua Teen?
Aqua Teen.
Nice.
Yep, after their movie, they're making a big comeback to TVs.
Sweet.
I'm really excited for that. I love Aqua Teen. I cried when it ended.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because that was like my that's like my comfort show. Whenever I don't have anything to watch, I put on Aqua Teen. Oh, there was a story I wanted to tell you. I thought was pretty funny. But now I'm thinking it's kind of awkward. And I don't really know how to bring it up naturally, so I guess I'll just tell you it. There I tell you. I might have told this story before in the embarrassing story episode, but this haunts me to this day, and I think about it a lot. Third grade, we had these like rancid hot dogs for lunch. It didn't taste good at all, and I knew something was coming. And I just for like 2 hours. Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
For like 2 hours, I just had this huge stomach pain, and then it started turning into a massive head pain. And I put my head down in class, like I just couldn't deal with it. And my teacher's like, "Craig, are you okay?" And it's like the second he asked, projectile vomited hot dog everywhere. Oh my god! It's a good thing. It's a good thing as a kid, because you're not the one that has to clean that up.
Right.
Because it was just disgusting, and I was so embarrassed. Everyone was looking at me. I got walked out while everyone had to wait in the hall because it was all over the floor. It was just terrible. You have any moments like that from when you were a kid?
I remember we used to have to rotate bringing in snack for the whole class in elementary school. And it was my turn to bring in the snack. By the way, I can hear myself on your end, and it sounds like I'm clipping.
Oh, really?
I can hear myself coming from somehow from.
It's probably from my headphones. Sorry about that.
Well, anyway, it was my turn to bring in snack, and like we couldn't usually afford to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I brought in like these fruit roll-ups. They were like fruit roll-ups, but they had like a kind of a sour, like sugary coating. Anyway, this one girl threw up after eating it, and I was really offended because I was like, "How dare you insult me like that?"
Dang. I just know something.
Why would you
bothers
do that
me.
to me? I was thinking like, why would you bully me like that?
How dare you throw up my food that I brought in? And I just noticed that bothers me. Look at our logo and look what sides we're on.
We're on the accurate sides.
We're on the wrong sides. Well, I guess no, because I don't have my long hair anymore. I just say if I had my long hair still, it could work out.
Yeah.
Man, I just love the fact you got so mad at her.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't act that way. Just I felt it. It's like, man, like we were like shamed into bringing in snack because it's like, oh well, all the rich, parents on this side of town have to bring snack in for the kids every week. So it was like our turn, and we like had to do it, or else I wasn't allowed to keep eating snack at snack time. You know what I mean? If we didn't bring in snack one time, so yeah, I brought it in. It's like someone pukes. It's like, how dare you put the spotlight on me like that and make me look bad? Like, ooh, piece of shit. Anyway.
Did I ever tell you the thumbtack story?
Yes. I don't remember it, but I remember you told me it.
I'll tell it again. Sorry if it's a repeat, guys. I know I learned my lesson watching other podcasts. Repeats are a no-go, but so I brought in cupcakes for my birthday to share with everybody.
With thumbtacks in it.
Yeah, this girl choked and died.
Whoops.
I didn't know thumbtacks would do that to somebody. I didn't know it would just stick in your throat and just swell up. It's crazy. But we were bringing them around. I gave to everyone in class. They said I could bring them to other classes to people I liked. And I brought them to my nephew's classroom and gave one to him and his teacher. And she gave me a prize out of the prize box. First, I just noticed what was happening behind me. In the prize box. And so me and this guy who came with me, we kneeled down, and he screamed. He was like, "Ah!" I'm like, "What's wrong, man?" And I look at his pant leg. He's holding his legs like nothing's there. I'm like, "What the hell?" I'm like, even the teacher's confused. Like, "What's going on?" Then he lifts up his pant leg. He has 2 thumbtacks in his knee.
Wow.
Yeah, and he goes, how did they get under his pants? To this day, I don't understand. We had to go to the nurse to get them to take it out because they were like in deep.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was so weird. I have no idea how they got under his pants. Like, he had blue jeans on. Like, it made no sense whatsoever.
Probably fell out of his ass.
Fell out of his ass, slid down his pants, and he's perfect time kneeled down on it. Man, I just remember everyone was getting hurt back in elementary school. It was always like the wildest stuff. Like, I remember, I don't remember exactly what the thing was. This was an injury of mine. So there was this red thing on the playground where you could hop up and down, and it would like bounce you. I don't really know what it was. But all of us hopped on, and the goal was to rip each other off and take the spot like King of the Hill. And, well, I hopped on, and it bounced up, smacked me in my jaw, and it popped 4 holes in my lips.
Oof.
Yeah, I was bleeding really bad, and I had to get taken to the nurse.
I have an elementary school story that I just thought of the other day. It was like maybe 3rd grade at the most. It was probably 1st grade actually, and we had recess in the class that day. It must have been winter time or something. And this one kid, he wanted to like play school with me, like be a teacher and I was a student, like, you know, role play a class or whatever for recess. Kind of thinking, like, really? We have recess, and you want to play, like, class for recess? That's what you want to do? But anyway, like, you want to take recess and make it more freaking class. But anyway, so I was playing recess, or I was playing, you know, school with this kid, and he was the teacher. And I wanted to make a really smart reference. There was this show that came out that was, like, going on during that era. It was called SpongeBob SquarePants. And it was, like, really new and really popular. And so there was this new episode, and I thought I'd make a reference because it's like, obviously everybody in the class should understand this reference and think it's freaking hilarious and appreciate what it is. So I was the student, and I like took a little piece of paper while he was teaching me a lesson, and I drew a picture of him as a great big fat person.
The big fat meanie.
And I wrote big fat meanie. And I was I couldn't stop laughing while I was drawing it because I was like, man, this is such an awesome what's the word, topical reference, and it's so like right now. And he took it and he like was like offended, and he brought it to the teacher and got me in trouble. And I was like, dude, it's SpongeBob. It's SpongeBob. I'm not calling you a big fat meanie. This is SpongeBob. I am making a reference for you to appreciate. But yeah, I got in trouble for drawing a big fat meanie picture, even though I was just trying to make a SpongeBob joke. That annoyed me. That's why I shot up the school all those times.
I'm gonna have to cut that out or bleep that. Okay.
All right.
Cut.
Sure, whatever.
Uh, you are edgy these days, man.
What's next? Well, it's different. If you're saying I'm gonna shoot up the school, that's a whole different thing. But if you say you shot up the school, people can easily verify that you didn't shoot up the school.
All right.
Anyway,
Man,
obviously I wouldn't be here in a podcast if I shot up any school.
it's just so crazy how back when we first did it, you were like super straight laced about a lot of stuff, and now you're in your edgy era these
Well,
days.
no, it just depends. It depends on the subject matter. Well, that's funny, so I did it.
So I started uploading on my YouTube channel again, which is a pretty big deal for me. I'm actually surprised I
Nice.
did it. I'm actually editing my videos, and this video currently right now. I really excited, honestly. Things are going pretty well. I got 5 subscribers. I went down to, what was it, 207 or 208, and I'm back up to 213. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's a new high for me. I'm two more
Nice.
than my highest. So, things are going well. I uploaded a video called about a game called Little Runmo, and the creator of the game actually commented on my video, which made me really happy.
Nice. Pretty cool.
And I recently played a game called Greener Grass Awaits. It's a horror game, and I broke it. I accidentally scored in the same hole twice. That's what he said. And the game wouldn't let me progress any further, so I just quit and gave up and just called it a video.
I see.
But man, it's so hard because I guess this is a good place to talk about it. I'm not sure how I feel about video games anymore.
Yeah, I really can't stand video games.
Like, I just don't feel the fun I used to anymore. Like, I'm excited for Spider-Man 2. That's the only game I feel any sense of excitement for. When I play other games, Little Runmo was a surprise that actually I had fun with. And I guess that's if they watch this, that's a real award from me. Your game made me feel a sense of joy that I haven't felt in a long time. I feel weird saying that. That feels cocky. I don't like that. But just even my favorite game series, Kingdom Hearts, I don't have fun with anymore, and I don't know when this started, and I don't know if it came with age or what happened, but I don't think it's age because I see a lot of people who still get enjoyment out of playing stuff.
I think part of it might be age, not most of it, but part of it, and it should be anyway, because you really kind of should get away from video games as you get older, especially if you have kids. Playing video games with them for fun for them is a different thing, but someone passionately being into video games, if they're our age, should kind of die down unless they're unless they're in the business and it's their job.
Yeah, that's the thing that kind of hurting me is, I guess in a way, these last couple days, I've found my enjoyment for video games a little bit. Not to the extent I'd like to, but, it's what I want to do for kind of a living. That, and obviously my love for doing podcasts with you. Those are my two things I want to do, but it sucks that things are just kind of turning out this way. I'm hoping.
Yeah. I know games have changed a lot too.
Yeah, it's so many
for the worst,
repetitive,
for the most part.
repetitive bullshit that just is less inventive, and they try to repeat a winning formula, but you use the same formula every single time. It's just gonna get diluted and worse. And
Call of Duty is always a really good example to talk about the decline of video games, because especially if you look at zombies, because that started as a passion project, and that should have been the point of video games, is these guys have fun making something really fun and they want to share it with people and have other people play it. And then it became how can we keep making money on this and make more money, and then prioritize money over enjoyment, and then it's all microtransactions and crappy skins and all that stuff. And now Call of Duty sucks ass, and the last 3 Call of Duties in a row have been absolutely shit on, but yet they keep making the same game and they don't improve.
And the thing that's like I'm glad to see more often is that it's the passion projects that are breaking records. But then
Yeah.
you see these few games just not being paid attention to the way they should be by the industry. And they still just try to go for cash grabs when it's clear as day that it needs to have effort, time, care. It needs to have these things that make something mean something to people.
Yeah.
Even if it's something silly, as long as you can tell there's
And
love and care put into it, people are gonna love that.
have you seen Panderverse yet?
No, I want to so badly. You can talk about it though.
Okay.
I'd love to hear
Well,
your
'cause
opinions.
one thing they satirize really well in the Panderverse is about how like multiverse in movies and games is just an excuse for lazy writing, and like how it could have been cool once, in like one movie or something, but now when everything is all multiverse, it's just an excuse for lazy writing. It's like instead of being creative, it's like, oh, we can do it this way. It's just in a different universe. But and I've been saying that since Black Ops 2 when they came out with Origins and Zombies. How just doing it in like a different universe is just such a cop out. Instead of, they just gave up on like the story and decided to just do a new one. And it sucks that Black Ops 3 keeps being voted so highly on lists of like best zombies games. It's just because convenience, because it has Chronicles and it has all the maps, but they're not as good as the original versions of them, not by a long shot. But yeah, the last game I actually kind of looked forward to was Black Ops 2, which I didn't look forward to it that much because I didn't think it was gonna be that good, and it wasn't as good as Black Ops 1. But that's the last time I was actually looking forward to a new game, and that was 2012 or 2013, 2012. I think.
The last Call of Duty I looked forward to was probably Black Ops 3, just because I loved Black Ops 1 and 2 so much. And after Black Ops 3 kind of disappointed me to an extent, it wasn't as bad as I remember it being these days, but that was kind of the nail in the coffin for me buying any modern Call of Duties.
Yeah. Because as far as video games, Call of Duty was like the one game that I kept making myself be interested in, even after I was kind of over video games in general. I just kept getting the next Call of Duty for a while. I mean, I skipped a lot of them, but I kept getting the Black Ops ones, and but I haven't enjoyed them since like Black Ops 1. But and as far as any other video games, they kind of fell out of favor for me before Black Ops 2 even came out. But
Something I kind of wanted to get into. I know we've talked about this personally before, but would you like to talk about your switch to Xbox and what that's meant for you?
yeah, so that's been cool. Yeah, it's mainly, I thought for a while like, oh boy, I probably should get a PS5 someday because I had a PS3 and a PS4, and figured that would be a thing to do someday, especially because new Call of Duties are gonna come out and eventually they're not gonna be on PS4. So it's like, if I want to get the next Call of Duty, I'm gonna have to get a PS5 someday. And there was a time when I was going to get one or try to, but that was when thankfully the scalpers got them all. I'm glad I didn't get one, because it's like it seems like I wanted one because I told myself that I was like supposed to get one, but I don't really have a reason to want one or need one. Well, nobody has a reason to need any kind of game console, obviously, but I'm trying to think, what do I want from a game console? Well, from a game console, I want to be able to play PS3 games, and I want to be able to play PS3 games. That's what I want from a game console, and my PS3 does that. My PS4 doesn't do that, and PS5 doesn't do that. So, no reason to get a PS5. Xbox, on the other hand, Series X, does play Xbox 360 games, and so does the Xbox One. But Xbox One, PS4 is better than that. But either way, I would only want more game consoles to be able to keep playing the games I already have and just play them on newer hardware that's faster and upscale the graphics or whatever, or not. But yeah, I would only want a console that can actually replace my current generation of consoles, and the PS5 cannot do that. It can replace the PS4, but it can't replace the PS2, PS3, or PS1. So,
And it can't even
that's
entirely replace the PS5, the PS4 either, because
right.
as far as I know, unless a game explicitly says it has backwards compatibility, it doesn't have backwards compatibility.
Because I got to think too, like, what games do I play and what games do I want to play? Well, I want to play Call of Duty World at War and Call of Duty Black Ops 1. And maybe some other PS3 era games. And maybe some older ones, like PS1 games. But none of that is an option on the PS5. So, and as far as getting the next Call of Duty, by the end of last year, I knew that I didn't want the next Call of Duty, which is the one that just came out.
And
That was
rightfully
like-
so.
Yeah, and I wish I never bought Vanguard. Obviously, I bought that hopefully, and it was the shittiest Call of Duty ever. But yeah, just now I don't even have the need to get the next Call of Duty to make me want to get a PS5. So there was like one other game that I was somewhat interested in on the PS5, and that's the Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. But I already watched the game on YouTube, so now I don't even have to play it. So just for one game to kind of play and not really enjoy doesn't justify the PS5.
I bought that on my PC and I can't even play it.
And then I found out that like the Xbox was actually still doing a pretty good job with backwards compatibility for a while, all the way up until the Series X. And I mean, I guess they ended it now. Like, they're not adding games to the backwards compatibility library anymore, but they've already added so many really important ones. Like, pretty much all of Halo is backwards compatible, and all the Call of Duties are backwards compatible. And so, and they're not just backwards compatible, but they're somewhat improved. Plus, Xbox, they fixed the servers. They fixed matchmaking issues with all Call of Duty games, which is pretty cool. It's just, and I found that because of that, like after that, a lot of people started getting on and playing Black Ops and Modern Warfare 1 and 2 and World at War and stuff. So I was like, there's actually a player base over on the Xbox right now on my favorite Call of Duties. So I want to check that out. So yeah, that's what I did. I mean, I should say though, that's not to say that anything is better than the PS3, because the PS3 didn't have those issues to begin with that needed fixing on the Xbox side. Like, all along, you've been able to still just play on PS3 with no matchmaking issues. But either way, the player base right now seems to be mostly on the Xbox. And I've already, maxed out my levels on all the PS3 ones, so now that I can do it again on Xbox, it's kind of fun. I'm still just going through the motions because video games aren't that fun for me, but it's just there's a little bit of comfort in the nostalgia and playing those old games like it's 2008 to 2010. And yeah.
I'm trying to download something.
And I collect Xboxes now.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Stop.
Yeah, that's not to say I have like a collection, so to speak, but I officially do collect them. That's something I have an interest in.
That's
Just
really
360s.
cool.
Just 360s. I don't care. I don't want to own an Xbox One because I have no need at all. And having a Series X is great. So just 360s. I want to have a white one. I want to have an Xbox 360 arcade, a regular Xbox 360, an Elite like I had when I was younger, and I have an S now and I have an E, which a lot of people don't even know about the E because they already had a PS4 by the time the E came out, the 360E. But yeah, I don't know. I just think it's fun now because I was forced to take part in the console wars and choose my side, through that era. So I missed out on Xbox 360, and now it's just really interesting to me, and I want to kind of collect them, and just I'm interested in them. And I don't care if they work. I need one that works. The rest can all not work as long as I can get them cheap as hell, just to have them. Well, I fix them anyway, so. But yeah.
All right, well, I think that's a good place to end this one off. You know, I honestly like. I'm glad to be back doing this because I love making podcasts. I wasn't really sure about it for a while, but once I started talking to my therapist, I started realizing that really my passion is making these type of videos, talking with you, talking with someone I have in common with that also has a lot. We still have a lot of distance between us because of not knowing each other for so long. It's just nice getting to chat and kind of connect and find more out about you that I don't know.
I have an idea.
What's up?
So we'll stop this one, like you said, and then we'll just how about we take? Excuse me, I got a burp. Take a quick break and then have like an intermission, like just chat off, recording for a little bit,
Yeah.
and maybe think about doing another one if you're up for it.
I'd be down.
Cool beans.
All
right.
right. Well, thank you for coming back to this with me.
Yeah, I'm glad it was fun. I'm glad we did it.
And thank you all for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this video.
I'm watching myself and it's all delayed, so I'm like waiting for the finger guns to go off after I've already stopped. It's fun.
But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you come by and stick around for the next one. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Catch you later, guys.